Hey guys, it's Tim from Pro Wrestling. Oh. Alright, so Monday Night Raw tonight. Got a couple people in here. We got Lit Boy 18, Alex Rodriguez, Robert Velos Jr., I Am the Dark. What is going on, everybody?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing?
So, Monday Night Raw. It's the kickoff. No, it's the go home.
Go home.
For the greatest Royal Rumble. That Michael Cole let us know 20 times. 20 times. Noon. Special start time, noon. And the Corey Graves would jump in. And for all you on the West Coast, 9 a.m. So, yeah. Whew, it's going to be long. It's going to be...
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
A 5-hour main show, at least, if it doesn't run long.
That's
and
rough.
a 1-hour pre-show. And they haven't even announced if there's a pre-show match.
Ooh, that's another thing I didn't even think about.
I didn't think about that till just now. I'm like, I said pre-show. Wait, pre-show? Maybe. Hey, who do you think's going to run
if the pre-show's only an hour, no, I doubt there'll be a pre-show match.
Maybe. Who do you think's going to... No, there's always a... Every pay-per-view has a 1-hour pre-show, and they still run a match.
Who would you put in the match?
I don't know, just a random, 6-man tag.
Yeah, probably cruiserweights.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe do a cruiserweight tag team match or something. And who runs the pre-show since Renee's most likely not going to be there?
Why wouldn't she be there?
Women. They don't want women involved.
Oh, Pat McAfee.
Oh, okay. I said
no, he's actually signed to do NXT Takeover Chicago.
No, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who runs it? You put Corey in that main spot?
Booker, Sam Roberts.
Booker's going to be on commentary because Coach isn't going to be there.
Sam Roberts.
That's a bit tough one.
I fucking hate him, but he's
you
probably
think they send Sam Roberts even though he's got to work his radio show that morning?
I'm sure he's not concerned. I'm sure he'll live. I'm sure he'd
just have Rosenberg. Just have Rosenberg run it all.
Oh, if it's just Rosenberg? Oh, hell yeah. I love Pete Rosenberg.
Maybe have Rosenberg and King. Throw a third person up there. I don't fucking know. Let's talk about
King's
Raw.
Doing commentary, right?
Maybe. I don't even know. Because Corey...
Yeah, let's talk Raw.
Anyways, yeah, so Raw kicks off with Brock Lesnar. Well, actually, it kicked off with a Bruno Sammartino tribute, 10-bell salute. Mm-hmm. Vince did make it back to Raw in time for the start from Bruno's funeral in Pittsburgh. 10-bell salute. They did a pretty long video package with different wrestlers like Roman Reigns, John Cena, Paul Heyman, Bill Apter, Triple H all talking about Bruno. Lesnar and Heyman then came out. Got a lot of boos. This is a very pro-Roman Reigns crowd tonight.
Yeah, which is not surprising since he's gonna be your fucking champion. So Heyman, best like him.
Heyman did his little spiel to start off. You know, I'm the advocate for Brock Lesnar, this and that. Heyman gloated over Lesnar ending the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. He gloated over how Lesnar took Cena to Suplex City and that he delivered spoilers, not predictions. Heyman said that Lesnar doesn't gloat, he conquers. However, Heyman said that he will gloat over the fact that Lesnar used non-PG elbows and scarred Roman Reigns. Heyman said that Lesnar doesn't dwell on the past, even when the past is only 2 weeks ago at WrestleMania. Lesnar looks towards the future, especially when the future is the greatest Royal Rumble.
Really hyping up this greatest Rumble, which I love. Well, they deserve it.
They zoomed in on 4 fans in the crowd chanting for Roman at this point. Heyman looked at them through the corner of his eye. Heyman said that Lesnar sighed at big, fat, beautiful contract that he's earned through the WWE by beating Roman Reigns. Heyman said
it's a big fucking contract.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, have a little more life in your voice, Tim.
Huh?
Have a little more life in your voice. You sound like you want to kill yourself.
Sure.
You do.
Heyman said that Reigns is getting in the cage against the greatest cage fighter and a man that no one could ever beat in the Brocktagon.
That sounds stupid. I didn't
I'm
like it.
Oh, Lord. Is that a new trademark term by the WWE? Wait for the Brocktagon shirt to come out?
Does Brock get any other shirts?
Why? He signed a 1-year contract for like $120-something thousand for them to use his likeness on merchandise.
Okay,
no,
it's
a $500,000 contract or something like that.
Because I assumed it was just the one Suplex City T-shirt.
But they've redone that Suplex City shirt like 4 different times. They've got they've got the original one that was the street sign. Then they had the one that was the ticket, and he was wearing I think a different one today.
Okay. Well,
and then they always theme them for the city they're in based off the sports team in that city and stuff to sell the different, so.
Gotcha.
So Roman Reigns came out to a very good ovation. I put on Twitter that Roman got a very good mixed reaction, and somebody tweets back and goes, "I'm in the building, and I feel like the only one that's actually booing." I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Yeah, that's a little weird.
So Roman came out,
but I'm glad because I think people are finally coming around to that idea of, yeah, we want a full-time champion, and it's going to be in Roman Reigns, and I think that's what people are starting to accept. And I'm very glad about that fact.
And so Heyman had said before this that Roman Reigns will be coming back to the United States. He won't know how to get back because he'll be in a bunch of different pieces and need boxes to carry himself. Something along those lines. I was like, what? Anyways.
So I'm very glad. I do want to mention this real quick. I'm very glad that these Heyman promos are starting to make some fucking sense.
Right.
And they're not starting to be Brock Lesnar, beat streak, he good, I Heyman. Goodbye. It actually had some life to it, and I appreciate that.
So Roman comes down, and he gets in the ring, and he just stares at Brock for a second, and Reigns said that Heyman was right. He doesn't know how he's going to get home from Saudi Arabia, but he's coming home with that title either way.
Probably on plane, I'm assuming. I don't think he can walk or drink. Could you drive to Saudi Arabia?
If you have an amphibian car that can go
How long would it take me to drive to Saudi Arabia?
Oh, I don't even know. It takes me 3 seconds to get there on Snapchat.
Siri said, cannot take me there.
Anyways, he said, you can believe that. Reigns dropped the mic, left, boom. That's all we saw Roman Reigns all night.
Yeah, and he probably made some good fucking money just by showing up.
I know Brock's supposed to be getting like $125,000 just for standing there tonight.
Yeah, that's fucking insane. The amount of money.
If that's 100% true, I mean, we still don't know 100%, but I mean, it could be right.
It was reported by the human fuckface, the human fucking garbage can, Billy Bahidi. So
yeah, but I feel like if Fox Sports was
gonna
repost it, they were gonna fact check it a little bit or try to at least.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't know.
So then they aired some tweets, just giving condolences for Bruno, like from Arnold Schwarzenegger, Booker T, Dan Marino, Jerry Lawler, Shane McMahon, and others. They show that
it's
Elias,
really cool to see how many people outside of wrestling kind of have that connection with Bruno.
I mean, if you watched the Bruno documentary that they got on the network airing right now, there's a spot, I forget who says it, but someone was like, Bruno was so big that even if you weren't a wrestling fan, you probably knew who he was because he's always hanging out with not just people in wrestling, but celebrities and all kinds of different people.
Hey, fix your cable.
I just heard that. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Give me
yeah, that sounds... The Revival. Forever the Revival.
Is that better?
No, that sounds about 25 times worse, dude.
Hello?
You sound blown out.
Hello?
You sound blown out.
I'm turning me down.
Better.
Is that better?
Did you guys hear the Roman plants in the crowd? There was no Roman plants, guys.
Roman plants, no.
You're a fucking idiot.
All right, we're good now.
All right, cool.
So they showed Elias was coming out to the ring. Commercial come back, and Elias was out there. He was going to sing. Didn't really.
Forgot the most important part. What he said to the youth of America.
So he's sitting in the ring, and he was getting ready to do his song and everything. And he talked about the Greatest Royal Rumble, and he said something along the lines of, "Kids, tell your parents that you're sick and you don't want to go to school on Friday, so you can watch the Rumble, the Greatest Royal Rumble." And right as he was getting ready to sing,
I already called out of work.
Excuse me. And right as he was getting ready to sing, Bobby Roode's music hits, cuts him off.
Can I just tell you how bored I am of Bobby Roode?
I mean,
it's just he hasn't done shit.
With Corey Graves, every time that music hits, he's like, "Oh my God, it's the Glorious!" I'm like, "Calm the fuck down, Corey Graves."
Though I do think Corey does have that. I think Corey still has a bit of an NXT mindset when he's hyping up a lot of the wrestlers, but I can appreciate that effort.
I guess
he's trying to make us give a shit.
I guess.
So, I give him
I thought it was funny at one point. Who was it they were talking about? Oh, it was The Miz. And so, I'm fast forward just for a second here because I'll probably forget this. Axel and Dallas came out to Miz's music. And Cole goes, "Now, Corey, don't get too excited. The Miz isn't actually coming out right now. He's been traded to SmackDown." And Corey goes, "It's all good, Cole. I can see him tomorrow night on SmackDown."
There you go.
I was like,
Also,
wow.
I have a little fucking theory to say about the Miztourage and the Miz.
Okay.
We'll get to that when we get to the Miztourage segment.
Oh, the Miztourage had like 4 different segments tonight.
We'll get to it when we get to the last one.
So 11-minute match with Elias and Bobby Roode. It was an all right match. Elias pinned Bobby Roode after he snapped Roode's arm against the ropes. Elias was getting back in the ring, followed by a schoolboy cradle. Elias kept escaping the glorious DDT. After Roode hit a blockbuster, Elias rolled out of the ring. And yeah, he
wasn't
beat him
much.
with the cradle. All right, 11-minute match. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Then had a promo. Matt Hardy was on the screen, did a promo saying that he and Wyatt were ready to procure the Raw Tag Team Championships at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Tonight, he and Wyatt would journey into the Wasteland. There was a white light as Hardy cut his promo, and in popped Wyatt. It turned to darkness. Wyatt told Hardy tonight they would cast shadows on the Ascension.
For Ascension.
So Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy took on the Ascension in about a 4-minute, maybe 5-minute match. Probably not even 5 minutes. And yeah, after Hardy hit Victor with a side effect, Connor ran in and jumped Hardy. Wyatt gave Connor a Sister Abigail, and Hardy pinned Victor following another twist of fate.
Yeah, I mean, it happened.
I want the revival.
Champions. I want the revival to be the champions.
It's going to be Matt and Bray. I mean, you can't give it to the Bar because they're going to SmackDown. We have the SmackDown tag titles on Raw. Or, I mean, on the Raw tag titles on SmackDown.
I don't care. I just want the revival to be champions.
Okay, we haven't seen them.
Make revival fucking dual champions on both Raw and SmackDown. Fuck it, make them NXT tag champs too.
We haven't seen the
Actually, fucking buy back OVW. Make them the OVW tag team champion. Just have every goddamn title. They deserve it. You cannot tell me that there's a better wrestling tag team than the revival.
No, I love the revival.
In the WWE or exactly, there's no better wrestling tag team.
Oh, and thank you, George
maybe
Herrera
the Usos.
Jr., the $5 super chat donation. Can't believe the writers did that Vern Troyer death joke. I didn't hear a Vern Troyer death joke.
It's because he's small. That's probably the joke.
Elaborate in the chat, because I didn't hear that.
I didn't either. I also didn't watch.
Anyways, so they were talking about the Greatest Royal Rumble, and Corey Graves did announce that Shane McMahon would be in the Greatest Royal Rumble. They then showed more tweets about Bruno from Triple H, Rey Mysterio, Bruno Mars, and the Pittsburgh Steelers organization.
Yeah, there you go.
Next up, the Sami and Kevin show. The ring was all set up. They had big old pictures in the ring of them when they were beating up Shane McMahon. They were out there, and they were just talking about how they're the new hottest talk show in the WWE. Stephanie McMahon has faith in them and this and that. And then they said, you know what, it's time to get to our guest, Kurt Angle. So Kurt Angle comes out, and he gets in the ring, and Sami moves one of the pictures for him, and Corey goes, look at that hospitality by Sami Zayn, making way for the general manager to get in the ring. And so
apparently it was in the Jinder and Gable segment.
Huh.
I don't know. When Jinder talks, I kind of tune myself out a little bit.
All right. So Kurt gets in there, and Kevin goes, oh, we need a chair for you. Hold on. And he goes under the desk they had there, and he pulls out a lawn chair, and he opens it up. Kind of struggles for a second, and he sets it down. He goes, only the best for you, Kurt.
I want a lawn chair.
So they're sitting there, and Kurt said something about Stephanie, and they were like, Kurt, you need to stop talking bad about Stephanie McMahon. You really need this job for you and your 5 children. And Kevin goes, no, Sami, it's 6. He goes, no, he's got 5 kids. And Kevin goes, no, I think it's 6. So Sami puts on his glasses, gets his ledger, a little notepad, and he goes,
it's called a legal pad.
Legal pad,
stroke
whatever.
victim. Jesus Christ.
And he goes, let me check my notes here. So he's like flipping through. He's like Olympic gold medals, multi-time world champion. And he flips to one more page, and Kevin goes, right there, 6 kids. You forgot Jason Jordan. And Sami literally goes, Kurt forgot about Jason for years. It's okay. I was like, wow.
Surprised they kind of went through with that line. And I really, do you think do you think they've dropped the fucking, that's his father, right?
No.
I'm going to say what the storyline was.
They said it again. They said the father thing with Chad Gable later.
Oh my God.
Look, they kind of hinted at it.
For people that don't know, this fucking storyline is Jason Jordan. His father is Kurt Angle. And the fact that we didn't get like backstage segments of like.
All right, so they Kurt said that you guys need to calm down and watch out for the Greatest Royal Rumble match because all the guys that you've kind of screwed over in the past will be in that match, from Daniel Bryan, Shane McMahon, Chris Jericho. Owen said that, or where was I? Angle said that he wouldn't blame Stephanie if she's mad, though, because of him, they no longer have Ronda Rousey under their thumb, and because of him as well, Ronda snapped her arm. There was yes chants after that line from Kurt, and then basically Kurt was like, you know what? Later on tonight, you're going to have a tag team match. It's going to be you two against Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman.
I like a nice Haas tag team. I think it's fine.
So then we see Seth Rollins in the locker room. And he's like, you guys. Camera pans out, and it's Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. And they were like, so the Miz is gone. He's no longer on Raw. We basically said, we need a leader. Can it be you? And he was just like we could be the new Shield. The three of us, the new Shield. And Seth was just like, no. So they were like, oh. And that was basically it. Plays into something later, though. So then we had Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler taking on Titus Worldwide. So Titus Worldwide's ready in the ring to come back from commercial, and McIntyre comes out. He's got this great music. I loved it. And then all of a sudden, Dolph Ziggler's music hits. I'm like, God,
is that
damn
what
it.
You think a record scratch sounds like?
Hey, I can't do sound effects.
I was gonna say that sounded like a cat.
You do a sound. You do it then.
I'm not gonna try to because
There
I
you
know
go.
that I can't, and I'm not gonna make myself look bad.
At least I tried. Anyways.
Super Rainmaker, yes. Tim writes all the notes. He doesn't get them from like F4W Online or anything. Nah, he writes them on his own.
Anyways. Basically a squash match. They killed Apollo Crews. There was one spot where I don't even know how to really explain it, but like McIntyre had how do I even explain it?
I can fucking explain it for you. McIntyre had Apollo Crews in an Alabama Slam.
Well, it was like he was like reversed though.
Right before he went for the slam, Dolph super kicks Apollo Crews, and then the slam happens.
Basically.
Very cool, very indie looking spot. Looks
Yeah.
like something you'd see the Young Bucks do.
And then
I think that's really, really cool.
And then they did their double team finish, the zigzag. What's it called? The Claymore kick.
All right, let's think of a name for it.
The Clayzag? I don't know.
That was fucking Let's never do that again.
Never mind. I'm not gonna say that one.
The cool boot with a
no. Anyways.
reverse Sister Abigail.
So after the match,
that's all a zigzag is.
Charlie Caruso comes in to interview them, and she was just like, you guys come back here. Dolph, why have you aligned yourself with Drew McIntyre? Drew, why are you with Dolph? And Dolph was just like, for so many years, no one's had my back. I've always had to watch out for myself. I guess he doesn't remember Big E and AJ.
No, what do you mean? That never happened. Who's AJ? AJ Styles?
Sure.
He wasn't there then.
Anyways, he's like, no one's ever had my back, but this man, he's got my back now, and I'm glad to have him. And so McIntyre just takes the mic. He doesn't even let her try to interview him. He's
probably one of the greatest talkers on the planet, mind you.
Oh, he's great. And he was just like, he's like, I'm back here, and since I've returned, I've seen that locker room, and that locker room's grown soft. They're just guys that want to come and collect their paycheck. They don't even care. He said that superstars, they don't look like him, and they don't sound like him, because he's the only real superstar. He said that he wanted to show.
Can you do it in a Scottish accent so it makes more sense? I bet you I could.
He said that he wanted to show the WWE what a real superstar looked like, and that he's the man that the WWE really needs. Loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a good promo. It you know what it very much reminded me of? Chris Jericho's returning promos, where he says the ratings are trash, everything's trash, and he's shot in the arm. It very much reminded me of I'm the best fucking thing on the planet. This is suffering without me.
But at least he has the thing of, I left, I made something of myself, and came back better. Jericho left, sang some songs, and then came back.
I mean, he's a good singer.
So Chad Gable walked into Kurt Angle's office and thanked him for bringing him over to Raw. Gable asked how Jordan was doing. Kurt said he's okay, but that's not why I brought you here. I did not bring you back to be a tag team with Jason Jordan. And Chad goes, I'm glad to hear that. It's exactly what I wanted. I want to show what I can do on my own. And then Jinder walked in, and he was all mad. He's like, Kurt, How can you make me have to defend my title last week and then send Jeff Hardy to Raw or send Jeff Hardy to SmackDown and not even give me an opportunity tonight to get my title back? I have to wait till the Greatest Royal Rumble and blah, blah, blah. And then Chad Gable was like, you don't talk to Kurt Angle like that. Don't disrespect this man. And they started getting each other's face. So Kurt's like, that's not how we do things here on Raw. If you guys have a beef, you do it in the ring. Next.
It's kind of getting a little fucking annoyed with that line.
Kinda.
I'm just getting a little bit annoyed because it's like, all right, we understand that that's not the case for everybody. It's not going to be the case for Brock and Roman.
I thought it was funny, though.
Why are we saying that over?
I thought it was funny at one point. Chad Gable's standing there, and Jinder goes, "Wait, who are you? Are you the little kid that won the tag titles with Braun Strowman at WrestleMania?"
Ooh.
I was like, "Wow."
Oof. Goddamn Jinder Mahal.
So, Chad Gable, Jinder Mahal had about a 10-minute match. Felt like 15, but I think it was
now
really
you hated this match.
I did not really like it because from the
I thought it was perfect.
Before the match even started, Gable was made to look like a goob.
Because that's his fucking. It's the whole scratch and claw gimmick.
No, Gable comes down to the ring. He walks up the steps and just stops. All of a sudden, he turns and looks at Sunil Singh, and they start jabber-jawing at each other. So Jinder comes up, just shoves him off the steps. He goes face
It looks fucking
plants,
violent.
like he bounced off the floor.
Yeah, it looked
Jinder
painful.
throws him into the dasher boards, throws him in the ring. The referee's like in between, like, Jinder, stop. He's trying to get him to stand up, and he's like, Gable, can you go? And Jinder's like, just ring the bell. I'm like, what is Jinder trying to do? Cash in Money in the Bank or something? Anyways.
I was going to make a joke, but I love the referees. They're so good.
So they had a 10-minute match or so. The
match was perfect. It was Gable
bad, but it was
getting
getting his ass beat the whole time, and then all of a sudden, at the very end, Jinder goes for the Colossus. He blocks it. He goes to the Colossus again. He blocks it, and he scrapes over it, and he pulls Jinder over to the corner. He runs the ropes, up the turnbuckle. He falls backwards, lands on Jinder's head. Jinder can't get back up. He pins him.
Yeah, all right. So let me tell you why I like this. First of all, American Alpha theme is back.
I don't think
he got the American Alpha theme. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Theme.
But
They said team.
I like the theme, but I think with the match, you got to take out the fact that it was Jinder Mahal.
I wouldn't care if it was anybody.
Realize it was the fact that it was Chad Gable getting the shit beat out of him by someone that's a lot more muscular, a lot more taller, a lot more stronger than him, and he had to find a way to sneak out a victory because that's his goddamn gimmick.
But listen, it's the whole thing they tried to do with fucking Sami Zayn and Bayley because they saw it work with Daniel Bryan. You have him get beaten, and then sneak a win. It worked with Daniel Bryan. Doesn't mean it's going to work again. It didn't work with Sami as a babyface, and it didn't work with Bayley as a babyface.
I can promise you this. These matches are going to lead up to something that I said on Twitter that after I fucking tweeted it, everyone else in the world started tweeting it. You're going to get Seth Rollins versus Chad Gable, and everyone's going to fucking goddamn go ape shit over how criminally underrated Chad Gable is.
They did that with Chad Gable and Rusev, Chad Gable and AJ Styles, Chad Gable and Kevin Owens, and then it went nowhere. It led to nothing.
I guarantee you any amount of money, by the end of 2020, he will be an IC champion.
2 years?
Yeah, 2 years he'll be an IC champion.
We're going to take that title from Jason Jordan?
No, he's going to take the title from Seth Rollins.
Seth's going to be a 2-year champion? Okay. Anyways.
No, they're going to hot potato that title.
Anyways.
They're gonna hot potato that title between him and Balor.
Renee Young interviewed the Riot Squad. They said that they were here to shake things up on Monday Night Raw. They were here to show the women what it's really like to be hunted. Sarah Logan was like, I grew up hunting my own prey, and these women are my prey, and I'm going to teach them what it means to be on the lookout and always having to watch your back. They then said that, yes, they're teaming with Alexa Bliss and Mickie James tonight, but if they don't watch their backs, they can get the same thing that Bayley and Sasha Banks got last week.
Easy enough. She didn't completely ruin her promo like she always does.
Fine.
What the fuck happened a year ago? Not even a year ago.
What do you mean?
She just sounded awful on the microphone. She couldn't talk.
I honestly, I believe that they were scripting her too much then.
Think so?
I think they were, because I've heard her stuff on the indies. She could talk on the indies.
That's true. I don't know, man.
So we saw more tweets for Bruno from Vince McMahon, Ted DiBiase, Kurt Angle, and others. Madison Square Garden. They showed the whole the marquee of Madison Square Garden honoring Bruno.
Mr. DJ King. Yeah, exactly. Gay meat. Do you not remember that line? Where she was talking to, I think she was talking to Daniel Bryan. She goes,
"Oh yeah.
Have you ever hunted? Have you ever hunted before? Have you ever eaten gay meat?" And I think she meant to say game or something like that, but she was just very bad at it.
So
I fucking lost my shit.
They did a promo for Joe versus Roman. They did a promo for Joe versus Roman at Backlash, and they showed this promo like 2 or 3 times, and every time they were like, Roman Reigns taking on Samoa Joe at Backlash, and then Michael Cole would go, and this could be a Universal Championship match. So
it's probably going to be.
Samoa Joe did a cell phone promo. Took about 10 seconds before he actually started talking because they didn't cut the clip properly, I guess. I don't know. He was just sitting there looking off, and then he looks in and goes, Roman Reigns. I was like, oh, hey, there you go. Anyways, he talked about how whether Roman gets the Universal title or not at the Greatest Royal Rumble doesn't concern him because he just wants to go to Backlash, and showed that it's true that he can defeat Roman Reigns and take Roman Reigns out, and Roman Reigns can never beat him. Reigns would wind up buried in the sand of the desert.
There you go.
Dallas and Axel then go to Finn Balor. And they're like, hey, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, they went to SmackDown. You need the Balor Club. We could be the new Balor Club. How about we Too Sweet? And they both put up the Too Sweet sign. And Finn was just like, that's funny, and walked off. And they're still standing there with the Too Sweet up. Finn walks back in and goes, 1 second. And he put his hands on top of both of theirs, and he lowers their hands down. He goes, yeah, that's better.
I thought it was fine.
So then
I think they're funny, but, you know.
Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, about 10 to 12-minute match or so.
Mm-hmm.
Strowman, Lashley got heat over Owens, gave him a low bridge followed by a running senton on the floor. Strowman brought the house down after he made a hot tag, plowing over Owens several times at ringside like he was swatting flies. Oh my God, he ran into Kevin Owens. Owens literally did a 360 face bump right into the barricade.
Yeah, that shit looked painful.
Then there was a spot even before, I think it was before the match even started. Sami and Kevin wouldn't get in the ring, so Braun literally was at ringside. He grabbed Sami, threw him face first into the corner, the edge of the barricade. Braun was all over this, just hossing people around.
Because Braun Strowman was a fucking hoss.
After taking the beating from Strowman, Sami tried to walk out, ran all the way up the ramp before Lashley grabbed him by his ass, threw him back in the ring. Lashley gave Zayn a hanging suplex, leading to Strowman's finish, where Strowman did pin him with a power slam.
There you go. I'm quite glad Bobby Lashley is back.
So then we had No Way Jose came out.
Excuse me. Black Lesnar.
Wow. So No Way Jose
Google
comes
search,
out.
that's what comes up.
I know. So No Way Jose comes out, and then Baron comes out, actually cuts I loved this promo by Baron. I don't say that often, but it was like a smart man's promo. So Jose's out there with his Congo line, and Baron Corbin comes out on the ramp, and he goes, so I'm supposed to take on No Way Jose, but I ain't coming down to that ring. You got your line of guys out there. What's supposed to happen? I get in the ring, and those 6 people jump me from behind. He's like, I ain't stupid. I ain't coming down there. It's like,
I don't think 6 people constitute a conga line.
I don't know. There might have been more than 6. Anyways, but I thought it was a smart thing. He's not stupid. Whether they're going to do something or not, he's not going to risk it.
It was a promo that kind of just threw away all wrestling logic. Oh, fuck, he's got such a good point.
Right? So he...
what?
So...
Why did anyone not think of this before?
So he goes to the back. He's like, I ain't doing this. And he just drops the mic and walks off. And so Jose's like, oh, he doesn't want us to party. We can have a party. Let's dance up the ramp. So he does the Congo line around the ring and he dances up the ramp. And I'm like, uh-oh. I know exactly what's going to happen here. So Jose's at the end of the Congo line. Everybody goes to the back. Jose turns around before going to the back. And he starts to dance to the crowd before, boom, here comes Baron. Attacks him from behind.
Now, is Jose's finishing move still the pop-up fastball or whatever? It's where you kind of throw the guy in the air in the pop-up powerbomb formation.
Well, I know the move is...
Breaker chokeslam, literally the most badass move in wrestling.
I accidentally stopped the stream. I clicked it by accident.
Oh
But
God.
we're good. We're good. We're back. We're good. It was
Okay.
only for a half a second. All right. So there was then a public service announcement by Alexa Bliss about taking a stance on bullying. Bliss
Oh.
claimed that she was having dinner once, and her former best friend Nia Jax saw a homeless woman who hadn't eaten in weeks and asked them for food. Bliss claimed that she was about to give the woman the rest of her burrito bowl when Jax took it from her and gobbled it down right in front of the homeless lady. Bliss appeared to be on the verge of tears as she discussed how Jax was a bully who deprived the homeless lady of the food. Bliss then told Ember Moon, "Wait, what? Oh, so yeah, like really? That was so dumb. I mean, I saw people online that said they liked it and found it funny.
So fucking stupid, but so fucking funny at the same time.
Yeah."
Oh, it was so dumb. It's
Bliss
so
then
dumb.
said that Ember, Bayley, and Banks will be teaming with Nia tonight, and if they wanted to take a stance on bullying, they should boycott teaming with Nia Jax.
Brilliant. Brilliant logic. We just had Baron Corbin throw out logic of the year. Now you got Alexa throwing out fucking logic of the month. I love it.
Guess. I don't know. So then we had...
Yeah.
So the whole thing with the... I guess can you still call them the Miztourage? Or are they just Axel and Dallas?
I'm just going to call him the Miztourage till they get something else.
The whole thing with them trying to get either Seth Rollins or Finn Balor to be their new quote-unquote leader led to a tag match. Finn and Seth versus Miztourage. It was an all-right 5-minute match or so. Rollins got the hot tag, did a double tope on Axel and Dallas to the outside. Rollins would... then at one point, Axel was in there with Seth Rollins, took the... I don't know what to call it, because Corey, he called it the blackout a couple weeks ago, and Cole just calls it the stomp. He just goes, "Oh, is Rollins about to hit the stomp?"
It's not a curb stomp unless someone's teeth are on the curb.
I guess.
How about that?
So he hits the curb stomp or the stomp on Curtis Axel. He does a dive to the outside on top of Bo Dallas to keep him down. Coup de grace from Finn Balor. 1, 2, 3. Balor and Seth win. Then they start talking. Well, they were a good team tonight, but now they're gonna have to go up against each other on Friday with that title on the line.
God, do you think that title goes? Oh, you know what they can do? They could just give the title to The Miz, have Mahal take the title back to Raw, and you just swap the belts again.
But wait,
which is fine because
wait. Here's the thing though. Jinder earlier said something to Kurt about when I win the United States title, I will just bring it here to Monday Night Raw, and Kurt goes, "I don't think that's how it works."
What?
So I don't know if he was saying
what.
I don't know if he was saying that the U.S. title is now is still only on SmackDown, and if Jinder was to win, he would go back to Smack. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
He said something along the lines like, I'll bring the title back here, and Kurt was like, that's not how it works. Or he said something along the lines that made me think that if Jinder was to beat Jeff Hardy, he would just go to SmackDown. But I don't think it's going to happen.
So then would Jeff come back to Raw?
No, because Jeff was drafted to SmackDown. He just happened to have the the U.S. title. So Jeff would stay on SmackDown. You would think, in theory. You know what I mean?
Main event.
So, Natty held like a little team meeting backstage with herself, Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. Jax said that she had a public service announcement of her own to Bliss. She said that Bliss was making her mad, and this was not good for Bliss's health. After that, Natalya, Jax, and Moon left. Banks then smiled at Bayley and appeared to want to make up, but Bayley just scowled at her before walking away.
There you go.
Then had the main event. It was Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, and Mickie James taking on Nia Jax, Ember Moon, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Natalya. Match went 15 minutes. It's an alright match. I mean, it wasn't anything bad. The story of the match was that Natalya supposedly had the sharpshooter on Mickie James, but Sarah Logan ran in, gave her a chop block, and injured her knee. Natty sold it like a very legit injury. Like, you would have thought... At one point, I thought it was legit until Mickie jumped her from behind. I'm like, oh, if she was really injured, they wouldn't have Mickie hitting her with the baseball slide from inside the ring.
Exactly.
So at one point, all the women are brawling. Like, the match just breaks down in a huge-ass brawl. They're on the outside. Nia's on the apron. So Nia's like, what do? I'm just going to jump off the apron on top of everybody. Everybody's just dead at this point. And then I don't know if anything happened here, but Alexa was laying down at ringside. She was kind of more away from everybody. And Mickey was like kind of hovered over her, yelling something to the referee. I don't know what was going on here. Maybe it was just they're playing everything up. And all of a sudden, Mickey runs back in the ring. And that's when she does the baseball slide spot to Natty as the referees and one ringside physician was helping her. And Corey Graves is like, oh, you shouldn't be worried about taking out an injured Natalya. Go help your friend again. And so she does the baseball slide. She goes to put the boots to Natalya when Ronda Rousey's music hits. Ronda comes down. Mickey retreats into the ring. And Ronda's just like, trying to help Natty up. And so Ronda takes a baseball slide from Mickey, and Mickey gets all cocky until Ronda stands up, turns around, looks at Mickey, and Mickey's like, never mind. Ronda rolls in the ring, grabs Mickey, judo flip, arm bar, pulls her arm back behind her head. Mickey immediately taps, but the heels win via disqualification.
There you go. Easy way. And I think this is a very good first feud for Ronda.
Basically, it sets up Ronda Rousey versus Mickie James, which will be happening May 19th in Paris, France at a live event.
That's cool. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I'm glad she's wrestling live events.
She's supposed to be doing 4 on the European tour. 4 of the 10 or more dates. I don't know how many dates they're doing. Probably like 2 weeks. And Ronda's going to be on 4 of them. I just like how Ronda's since Chamber. I'm not going to say her official debut at the Rumble, but since Chamber, she's maybe missed, 1, maybe 2 Raws?
So speaking of Chamber, I thought Mickey was going to be done at the Chamber. I thought she was retiring at that point. I thought it was kind of a last hoorah.
I never heard that.
It was not something that was really talked about, but it's something that kind of looked a little obvious. She got a big moment in the Chamber. I just felt like that was going to be it.
No, she's in.
I'm not complaining because I enjoy her and I think I'm happy that she's still here. Yeah. And I think she's a great first feud for Ronda, even though I'm still sticking by Baszler being one of them. But regardless,
I still think eventually Natty's like, I don't need your help. Stop coming out to help me, and then she gets pissed off with Ronda and turns on her.
Nah. I don't like that idea to set up the storyline.
I just think they need to work together because they've trained together. Natty actually trained her before she even was going to come into, like, she did some stuff with her while she was still in UFC. So they've got a history of working well together. I don't know. I just think those two would work good together. Because Ronda's the quote unquote shoot fighter, and Natty was trained in Japan, trained by her grandfather to shoot wrestle, so
with that was Monday Night Raw.
That wasn't a bad Raw. Got the Greatest Royal Rumble this Friday, noon Eastern.
We going live for
9 a.m.
it?
Pacific.
No, we can't.
I can't.
You got the kiddies. I could go live for it on my own.
If you want.
Theoretically, I could.
If your internet will work. Last time you tried, it didn't work.
It's a very good point.
Anyways,
You have stated a good statement.
Yeah, we'll be live at some point doing a review on Friday.
You can follow me on Twitter at PWU_Armstrong. You can follow us on Twitter at PWUnlimited. And right here on YouTube, we also have a Pro Wrestling Tee store at ProWrestlingTees.com/PWUnlimited. Tim, do your thing.
Danielo Lalima says, Tim, can you talk about not talking about the Cena match at all? I mean, there's nothing to talk about. Cena's doing Cena Triple H at the Greatest Rumble. They mentioned it for like 10 seconds tonight. And then they mentioned that Cena lifted 500 pounds on his birthday.
Yeah, he did. That was fucking awesome.
So, anyways, there wasn't much to talk about because they really barely mentioned it anyway. So, that's going to do it. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at TimmyBuddy. Also, if you want even more pro wrestling news, MMA news, boxing news, go follow the guys at Fightful. Fightful Online, Fightful Wrestling is their handles on Twitter. Got it here in the chat. Go hit them up. Sean Ross Sapp. Tell them that why do you have 3 first names?
Yeah, why the fuck do you have 3 first names,
Oh,
Sean?
I don't know about 3 first names.
Pick
but I
one,
got
damn
3
it.
names. Anyways, we'll be live again tomorrow after SmackDown. Have a good night, guys. We'll see you then.